opportunity for community comments on non-agenda items at the end. Marco, you got it turned on? Okay.
Good deal.
Can you mute your phone, please? All right, this is the notice of the meeting being recorded. This meeting of the School Board of Trustees, Committee of the Board of Trustees, or committee subject to the open meeting law is being recorded in accordance with sections 2-2301, 2-3-202, 2-3-203, and 2-3-214 MCA. All members of the board, committee, staff, and public in attendance are advised that the public portions of this meeting will be recorded in both an audio and video format. Cameras and recording devices are placed throughout the meeting room. To complete these recordings, everyone in attendance is reminded to honor basic rules of decorum during the meeting and guidance associated with providing public comment as stated in policy 1420F. By remaining in the meeting, those present consent to being recorded and displayed in the footage that will be posted on the school district's website. Just one camera, it's at the back, and then that's a speaker. So, it's your turn.
Okay, let's go through the items for the consent agenda. So starting on page 2, that'll be the June 24th meeting minutes. If you want to take a look at those really quick and make sure there's no changes that you need. Okay, starting on page 4, we have transfer request form. So that would be came from 497 Peak to 401 West Side for $800 as a fund donation for the implementing of West Side playground tables and courtyard. Next was 52 cents from the class of 24 to the class of 23, fix the negative balance. Then there was a closeout fund for $5.05 for the middle school participation sub fund to their participation fund. 57 cents, another closeout. That was a sub fund for Pink Night that went to athletics. Some of these, and the reason for some of these is because they were doubled up accounts. Another closeout account, high school participation sub fund to athletics for $1.26. There's one for $2,186.96. That was high school participation old, that went into athletics. Okay, on page 10, so I gave you this information just so you can see how I calculated this for the out of district transfer request. So part of that was in the strategic plan. Once we hit 90% of accreditation for numbers, that would be per classroom, we wouldn't allow any more out-of-district transfer requests in to try to make sure, first of all, we keep our class sizes down, and then also if we have kids that move into the district, they don't push us over the accreditation line, then we have to hire an aide just to fill that. So there's a couple reasons why we did it. So if you take grade 3, which is at the top, you see the total number of kids in that grade level is 100. So what I did for that is 28 is the accreditation limit per classroom, and they have 5 teachers, so I multiplied the 2 together, obviously you end up at 140, and then 90% of that is 124 or something like that students. So you can either look at it that way, or you can look at it by the per class and where they're at. So really, when I went through all of these, we were short of the 90% if we allow all these students in. So I did the calculations on all of it. The only one that was kind of close was second grade, I think, or first grade. No, not first. First is small. It was second grade. And they still have a cushion of about, I think their accreditation limit at the 90% is 18 students. And they're sitting at 17 right now, so we're good. So on page 12, this is all of the out-of-district requests that we received. If you look on the left, if we have to go through these in the future and go through them one at a time, we have to refer to them by the number that they're given. So requests 1 through 67 on page 13, those are all recommended for to accept their attendance agreement. The only one on page 14, which is 68, that will not be recommended is because the application came in late. And it's a tough situation, but the problem is if we allow it for one, we basically don't have a deadline. So you're gonna have to let kids in all year long. So this year, my recommendation is to not accept that one, and then hopefully next year, if they apply, we'd be able to accept them next year.
What was the cutoff?
What's that?
What was the cutoff for the recommendation?
July 25th,
Yeah, we went
and we
late.
received it, I wanna say August 1st.
Okay.
So, and that's the other thing, so we'll probably look at that board policy, and I'm gonna change the wording a little bit, so instead of having a hard, like July, whatever, I'm just gonna put the last day of summer registration is when those will be due. That way we don't have to change it every year. Okay. Starting on page 15, these are all of the students that are in our district requesting to go to another district. Okay, page 16, so this would be first reading for the board policy 3141, which is actually the out-of-district transfer request policy. These are the model forms from MTSBA that they advise us using, because we have to send a letter to the parents, whether they get accepted or denied. If they're accepted, it's pretty point blank on page 17. If you deny them, you have to give them a specific reason why you're denying them. And I'll use the criteria when we have to deny students in the future. I'll use the criteria from the strategic plan because we have an order that we go in for that, and there's also board policy 3141 has that as well. Okay, so those are the items for the consent agenda. I'm ready to go. You have any questions before we go through the consent agenda?
Probably let them participate before we vote.
Okay, yep.
You don't have to, I mean, you can stand back, it'll pick you up.
So we just wanted, two of our students are out of district from Glendive. They had actually attended the year before last, were denied that year. Basically some stuff with her work, she was staying at my mom's house, and that was the address for the kids at that point. She changed jobs and then changed jobs again, where she's working in Sidney, so we're both working in Sidney now. Just wanted to make sure if they were in consideration to be denied, if we could put some priority on it. Just because kids are here, they go to Boys and Girls Club here, they've got friends here, grandparents here, and we don't have any of that resource in Glendive, so if there's an emergency, and there were some iffy situations last year, that it was an issue.
I mean, the one piece of information that I can give you is that the one that's being denied is from Fairview.
Yeah, and I kind of gathered that from what you were talking about. I just wanted to say my piece if there was any issues with them being transferred.
So you should be good.
Yeah, I mean, basically what he mentioned of why we capped that at 90% is for situations like yours, right?
Yeah.
Where you guys have now moved into the district essentially, or
We've been here, we've had this kind of similar situation last
right,
year.
but situation like that where, okay, now you have a residency within Richland County, you're ready to go to, or within our school district,
We want to
area.
have room for you.
Yeah, we want to make sure we have room for you, so we're not in a panic after the fact, so, no, we're good.
Okay.
Be good.
All
Thank
right, consent agenda, approval of minutes. All recorded board meeting minutes must be reviewed and approved at the following board meeting. As you review the meeting minutes, please make note of any additions or changes that need to be made. I recommend to approve the board meeting minutes for both meetings held. Do we have 2 meetings?
No.
No, we only have 1. Great.
We forgot.
Meeting minutes held for June 24th, 2024, with any noted or agreed upon changes. Warrants and claims in accordance, do we have any? We didn't have those either.
No, we were just gonna do those on the,
That's right. ASB accounts and transfers in accordance with board policy 7425. The board of trustees shall conduct a monthly review of the ASB account balances reported by the deputy fund custodian. Recommend to approve all the ASB and any transfer requests as presented. 2425 out of district student attendance agreement. Do you want me to read this
No.
to you? Okay. You can kind of look through it. I did make some changes to this in the consent agenda because some of it is no longer applicable. I recommend to approve the out-of-district attendance agreement recommended for approval. 2425 out-of-district student attendance agreements. Why do I have that?
This is the deny one.
I have accepted, it needs to be denied. I've got.
Yeah, in the recommendations, you say deny.
Okay. Pursuant to policy 3141, each of the board considers out-of-district requests for students to attend city schools. The board has the final decision on admission. I recommend to deny the out-of-district attendance request for student 68. Student 69 did not end up filling out an application due to late applications. 24-25 neighboring school attendance requests feature neighboring school districts receive attendance requests from families residing within our district. These schools are required to send us an out-of-district attendance agreement for these students for board approval and acknowledgement. This is the same process we follow for the out-of-district attendance requests received by Sidney Public Schools. Recommend to acknowledge the attendance request for in-district students to attend the requested school districts as presented above. 24-25 change accounts. At the beginning of each school year, the principals require change to enable staff to receive payment for school lunch, activity tickets, gate admission, at athletic events, and for other student fees. The following request for change accounts is submitted for consideration by the board. High school, 3,200, and middle school, 300. Recommend to approve the 24-25 change accounts as listed. First reading board policy 3141 forms. In accordance with board policy 3141, the district must inform families in writing of the board's decision to accept or deny their request to attend Sidney Public Schools. These forms will be used by the district to provide the parents information on their transfer request. In the event the request is denied, the letter will explain why the board made the decision. I recommend to accept the first reading of board policy 3141 forms. Social media pay scale due to the social media
No,
specialist.
this is discussion.
Oh, geez, my bad. That's consent agenda. Thank you. Thank you for stopping.
Do I have a motion to approve this consent agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 2 items for the action agenda. Board member to serve lunch for the back to school on August 12th, and then also I was gonna ask you.
I'm working.
You're gonna work,
I
okay?
have to work.
Typically we do a greeting. I'll try, if I write it, I'll try to spice it up a little bit. The last one was a little dry. So if anybody wants to come and do that, I could also, I can read a letter on your behalf as well. That's totally up to the group. It seems like John is gonna be gone.
John's gone for sure, yeah.
Alex typically is working, you're probably working.
Nah, I usually make it. I
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out before
I go back to
here
work
today.
Wednesday, so I'll be working.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we doing? What do we do?
So-
Just serve lunch?
Well, there's that, but then there's also at the very beginning, so the first thing we do is I'll come up and then I'll have a trustee come up and just talk to the staff about, try to get them a little bit excited for the year, just talk to them about how we appreciate them, and then you just hand it back off to me. So,
It can be short and sweet.
yeah.
I've done it 2 years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not
I
that
could be there
bad.
for moral support.
Yeah, you can come, I mean, you're all welcome, obviously, to come
Yeah.
to that.
Okay.
And then we do a lunch, we serve lunch, that first day. This year it'll be over at Central School. Everything's gonna be at Central. So, yeah, if we could get a couple servers.
Yeah, I guess.
So you wanna serve lunch but not give a speech?
Yes. Yeah, maybe next year.
So Monday morning at what time?
8:30. I'll text you.
Okay,
We're going through that tomorrow morning.
I'll know in the morning.
Okay.
If I'm here or not.
It's like 8:15.
Not, I'll be in Sioux Falls, but.
Okay. And again, not a big deal. I can read a letter on your behalf as well. So, I think so lunches, Sarah, you think you can go? Anybody else?
If I'm here, I'll do it.
Okay. And
What time is that usually from, like 11:30?
It's like 11:30 to 12:30 this year.
Okay, I'll let you know, I should be able to check
Okay.
work if I'm in town.
Okay.
Alex might be off, because I think he's working now.
Oh, he is. Yeah, you're right. So
He
might-
should be off.
Okay.
You can reach out to him.
Yep.
I put Josh and Randy as a maybe.
Yeah.
And just put Alex as a maybe. Just put Alex as he's not here, so he doesn't.
Yeah, Alex is giving the speech.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Last item is social media pay scale. So due to social media specialist duties, I like to start them on the pay scale in column C with the potential of accepting up to 5 years of applicable experience. I would recommend to approve the social media specialist pay in column C with up to 5 years of applicable experience. So that would be starting salary or starting hourly is $15.75. That puts them in the same column as classroom aide with 90, professional development unit, special ed aide with 90, preschool aide with 90, language with 90, individual mobility, which would be a one-on-one with 90, and then secretary. That's in the same column. And then also, for all of those, A through F, we grant up to 5 years experience.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Good luck.
Yeah, we haven't had an application yet, so it's been
Yeah.
open for a year.
Right,
so.
right.
I do have, somebody, I think I have somebody that I'm gonna reach out to that sounded interested.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have something, cause it's not a 9 to 5 job,
No,
you know? I mean, it might be nice to have a flexible schedule depending on what your life is,
right.
but you're gonna need to go to some games and go to some
Right,
events
right.
and.
And hopefully a lot of it is people sharing the pictures
Yeah.
with them and them kind of putting them together
Yeah,
and posting them.
that would be nice if they had just like a centralized person to
Right.
email that had access to
Yes.
whatever Facebook
Yeah.
pages or whatever, so. Any other discussion on that? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nothing else, so
The next meeting
19th.
we will have, okay, so board meeting, you're gonna be on, right?
I'll know tomorrow.
Okay, so just to give, and that actually gives Tracy and Nikki and I a chance to go through some of those permissive levies so we can, you know, we're gonna have to mess with those a little bit because our oil and gas checks first quarter, were not good. I think we were down 300,000 in the high school and 100 in the elementary, which I'm guessing is probably about where we're gonna sit for the rest of the year on those. So I think we're gonna probably look at maybe increasing the technology for those and possibly the tuition. We do pay some of our aides out of the tuition fund, so that would help not have to pay out of flex since we're not getting oil and gas. And then the technology, we know probably Chromebooks, and we also know we're probably gonna do another bell system and cameras. So that'll help kind of take some pressure off of those. But, so the 19th would work better for us, but we're not necessarily locked into Monday for that kind of meeting. We just have to have it before the 26th.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have some stuff for you that I can email you before.
so we'll try to get
So
that
you can see
emailed
it.
out like next week so you can review it. It's a lot for like new board members. It's,
Yeah.
it is, it's a ton, but, yeah.
I mean, I think the 19th's fine.
Yeah.
John should be back. I think he works the same schedule as me, so he
Okay.
should be off that day.
Yeah, I don't think he was available for either this
Yeah,
day or
yeah,
the-
he's gone till the
yeah.
13th. You're a maybe, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll try to have enough. We'll get 5 here, 1 way.
If I'm not, I can call in.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
And it won't be a huge meeting, just because at the beginning there's not a ton of stuff,
Yeah.
but September will probably be a little bit bigger then.
Okay, anything else? Someone wants to go twice? Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.